Habits I Recommend to Succeed as a Developer by Tiger Abrodi. It's his personal take on good habits for developers. Read at least one book a month. Good books contain concentrated wisdom for developers with years of experience. Set aside 20 to 30 minutes daily for reading. This small habit compounds dramatically over time. Start with classics in your specialty, then branch out to adjacent fields. I think I can agree with this and resonate deeply with this, especially with the fact that it's something that you should do every day, even if it's a little bit. And as it says, it compounds dramatically over time. For me, I've been doing this with computer science and French, and I went from reading about one book every 6 months to now I'm reading about two books a month or two. So I can highly recommend this. And also, just the fact that you only set aside very short amount of time for reading motivates you to start reading every day. The obstacle to start reading becomes much lower. And I often find that once I start reading, I quite enjoy reading. So I think it's important to keep the obstacle as low as possible, and one way to do that is to set aside only a short amount of time daily for reading. Don't just read technical books, mix in books on communication, psychology, and business to develop a well-rounded perspective that will set you apart. I think that's also a good advice rather than sticking to one subject. I think you can learn from different subjects and use the learnings in another subject's area. In our case, I guess it's computer science, software engineering. And I think there are a lot of things that you can learn from being a good communicator and knowing psychology more and knowing the business better. I think they can all make us a better computer scientist or software engineer. I would also add that you should read what you enjoy, because for me, if I don't enjoy a book I'm reading, then I wouldn't pay attention that much anyway, and I wouldn't get much out of it. Maybe that's a personal point that I should try to improve on. But for me, I just get so much out of from reading and researching things that I enjoy. So I think that's a point that I might add if that works for you like that too. Second point is always be building something. Nothing improves your skills faster than building real projects. Theory only takes you so far. You need to put in the reps. Keep a side project active at all times, even if you can only dedicate a few hours weekly. These projects let you experiment with new technologies without the constraints of work projects. The key is consistency. A little progress each day is better than sporadic marathon sessions. Your GitHub profile becomes a portfolio of your growth journey. I think this is also a good point. With so much availability and with tutorials, different platforms like YouTube and other development platforms, I think it's easy to get stuck in this tutorial hell. You feel like you're being productive, but in fact, you're just doing something that's easy. It's very useful, but at the end of the day, what we want to do is build products, and therefore we should focus on building products, and everything else should be only helping that and shouldn't be the main focus. And I think it also comes down to doing something that you like. It's a point that I want to emphasize again and again, that if you're not interested in the side projects, then maybe you should look for another side project that you're interested in. And with the availability of what we can do with this computer software engineering, there must be a side project that might interest you, whether it be related to sports or related to game or related to anything that you're interested in. So I think that's another advice that I would like to add in. Write regularly to solidify your learning. Writing forces clear thinking. It's one thing to understand the concept, but another to explain it clearly. Block off dedicated time. I like taking one full day every other or third week for writing, reading, and reflecting. This reflection time helps you internalize what you've learned and identify gaps in your knowledge. Writing helps you find opportunities too. Blog posts about technical topics show employers and clients what you know and how you think, often better than a resume can. I really like this point because personally, when I try to write it or make a video about it or explain a concept to someone else, I often find that, oh, actually, I thought I knew every point, how to jump from one point to another, but I often find that I have gaps in between some of those points. And writing about it, making a video about it, forces you to make sure that each of those points make sense to you and that you can explain it. And I think there's a quote by Albert Einstein that I really like that goes something like, if you can explain it to someone else, then you don't understand yourself. And I think that is a really good point. And quite often I find myself that I don't really know that I don't know it. I think that I know it, but then once I start explaining, I'm like, actually, I don't know how to get from that point to the next point. So yeah, I think this is also good advice, and I think my YouTube video right now is a part of this. So yeah, I guess that's another bonus, that you can create your own platform, whether it be your own blog, or your YouTube channel. I would love to see more of this. So if you guys happen to have it already or going to start it, please do share with me. I'll be interested. Do things in public. Share what you're working on and learning about. Being open about your work creates opportunities you would never get by keeping yourself. Get in the habit of putting your code out there, writing about what you're learning, and joining the tech discussions online. Getting feedback from others helps you grow faster. In tech, who you know matters as much as what you know. Go to meetups, help with open source projects, or join online communities. Build relationships consistently. Don't just reach out when you need a favor. This is something that I can definitely improve on. I think being more of an introvert, or I guess not an extrovert anyway, it doesn't really, I don't really go out of my way to make connections. I know this is very important and I should do more. And yeah, I'm kind of happy doing my own projects, but I guess this YouTube channel goes towards this point. Fingers crossed. But having said that, I don't really make connections this way. Granted that my YouTube channel is very small. So, but I think this is something that's important and I should do more of this. And it probably goes for other computer scientists and software engineers too. I think the nature of the work is very there's a lot of times that we spend alone, and we like that, and that's one of the reasons why we chosen this path. But yeah, there's a lot to learn, a lot of opportunities, and I think it's a lot of fun too. And yeah, something that we can all improve on. Last point, consistent sleep schedule. As developers, it's so easy to mess up your sleep schedule. I know it myself. When you got some hardcore bugs, especially that you badly want to solve, you can stay up all night. But honestly, it's not worth it. A good sleep schedule is what will make you extremely productive as a developer. It's important to look at our career as something that we'll do all our life, because if everything goes well, that's what we'll do. So instead of looking at it like per project, I think that's a very short-sighted. I think instead of that, we should look at something that's more sustainable, and consistent sleep schedule is probably on the top of the list. If I can add in, I will probably add in consistent workout schedule and consistent rest schedule as well. And I think that goes for short-term rest, like every 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just looking outside the window for a few seconds to rest your eyes, or getting up from the chair and stretching out a bit, and making sure your posture is good and correct, which I'm definitely guilty of even while I'm recording this. And also a few times a week, just going out there and doing some workout, going for a walk, getting some fresh air. I think that all goes towards not only prolonged not only prolonged career but also just general health as well. And I think this is such an effective way because that not only goes towards our career, like I said, but it improves the rest of aspects of our lives too. So I think I can't recommend that enough. And eating well, and I guess that all goes hand in hand. This was a really cool article written by Tiger. Science Growth Letter is his blog. Check it out if you're interested. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.